Alright, I'm just going to show you about you and mine favorite Legend American chainsaws. I got a request from a guy telling me what bar I usually run on this thing. I run a 20-inch bar. It is a 2-in-1 chainsaw just like a Blue Max, and it came with a 16-inch bar. I don't usually use it. I don't need to. I'd rather have a 20-inch bar on it anyway. It's a 58.2 cc motor with automatic oiler and manual oiler. And it's very solid metal, original unit. I still got the original screws, but I'm using these screws as a good screws because some of them are in good shape. I'll show you the quick features on this thing. I got some spare parts for this thing, spare recoil from the XL12 and the gas cap for it, just in case. This is your top fuel tank and oil tank, handguard, rubber mount handle. I had to add me some little bit of tape over this wrap to keep it from flopping over the place. Maybe I could just wrap the whole thing up. Maybe I can definitely do that. Show you some other controls on it. Stop, on switch, manual oiler, throttle lock, choke, muffler. It has side tensioner bolts. Chain tensioners on the front. Can I even get you closer to it? Cause there's the chain tensioner, but it is a bit heavy. My dad used to run homelite chainsaws years ago, but it is heavy for him. He likes modern saws that cuts a lot faster, a lot better, and they're kind of slow. But this thing will cut faster because it's got a fresh brand new chain on it, which it was on sale at Menards, which I got that for quality cheap for about $10. So now I got free spare chains for it. I did loosen the chain up a little bit to make it look smooth, where it'll go a lot more faster. And this is somewhere that you get to the air filter and your carburetor. There is a lot of metal on this thing, but there's no plastic. There's low-high screw needles. There's the high jet right there. The high jet is covered. Something's covered a high jet, that was a good thing. They would have probably done the same thing to the low jet to keep the low jet covered too, where you could adjust the idle speed. There's a carburetor. It's still original. I didn't replace it when I got it. The fuel line had to be replaced, so I did replace that. The air filter cover for it was broke, so I had to put a metal air filter cover on it. I did make it look brand new. You could tell sometimes it does have plastic. It's got a plastic choke lever, and a plastic throttle lock, and a plastic handguard. And it's a good quality saw. I had that thing for about almost a year ago when I cut firewood with it for the first time. I still got the video of it cutting firewood with an old piston and cylinder in it. I did replace it with a new piston and cylinder into this thing from the part saws which they got fresh piston and cylinders in there. So I'm using those as for parts to keep the big red going. Which is, I already did that, replaced the piston and cylinder in it with fresh piston, where I don't have to buy a brand new cylinder kit and piston with it, because it cost about $100 to buy a new piston, or you could just put that $100 in for a brand new saw. But it does run real good. It's a good runner. I'll definitely start it real quick and let you listen to it. But the throttle lock does work. I had to put an XL12 flywheel and the ignition coil on it from the XL12, and it runs a lot better. It is a good runner. It is pretty quiet, but it's got that ported muffler on it, which is, it's got a heat shield on it. The throttle lock does work. I don't occasionally use a throttle lock on this thing. Sometimes I do. But it starts a lot more easier with a throttle lock on it. But it is a good runner. I put a new fuel filter in it because the old fuel filter was kind of clogged. So I put a new fuel filter on it when I put a new fuel line in it at the bottom of the tank. But it is a good running saw. Very good runner. In case you want to know what oil I'm using old motor oil for these things because they lubricate the chain faster. The mixture for these things, I did a research online what mixtures they use. They use 50-to-1 mix back in the day. But years ago they ran 32-to-1. But in modern days, in the 90s, they switch over to 40-to-1 and 50-to-1. Now, a John Deere bought the homelite company and made the same things and turn one of these into yellow. Sometimes they turn them into green and the Echo, but those chainsaws are not made by John Deere. They're made by Homelite. Homelite made them for that. Homelite made them saws for the company before they put a John Deere logo on it, which is a 350 CS. Which is, they are about the same saws, but they're different colors. which is they are the same machines. But I don't care if we use a 16-inch bar onto this vane. If I'm cutting through bigger trees, I would use a 20-inch bar onto it. It don't have a scratch tool when my Uncle Jim found it. It don't even have a scratch tool, but I got one of them that work for its bolts and nuts. I'll show you at my work area. There's my spare recoil for it, just in case. Air filter. And an air filter cover. Or I could just put them onto the other XL12. There's the tool that I use from the Sidnick saw. But this does actually fit. It does fit on that. It does fit on there real smooth. And the chain tensioner screwdriver fits onto the tensioner right there. And if you're wondering if it comes with a shield to protect, but I got a Husqvarna shield. Husqvarna shield will work onto this thing. Look at that. Fits like a glove. Fits like a glove. It fits on there like a glove. So I do use old motor oil, which is I don't need to be buying expensive bar and chain oils. But sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. But I will intentionally use old motor oil instead, since now I'm going to be switching over to the old used motor oil for those chainsaw oilers to keep the chain cool. But it does fit on this vane real well. But it don't have its big red instruction manual, but I do have a manual for it. I do have a manual because it goes with the older models of Super XLs. Which I got this right here. You can find these on eBay. You can find them on eBay. See, now there's a Super XL, just like I got right here. And there's the XL12, which I still had at the other farm. And this is the original homelite 20-inch bar with a sprocket tip nose. Man, everything looks so black and white on this manual back in the day. There's the air filter cover, same thing right here. And a fuel filter. I still had it, but I don't use these fuel filters because they're old and crappy. I like modern fuel filters. Modern fuel filters will work on those saws, including modern fuel line. And there's how to fix the pull rope. There's the bow bar attachment, that's kind of dangerous. I don't like bow bars. They are very dangerous, but I don't know how you can operate those vanes back in the day with bow bars. But it looks all original back in the day. But homelites are a good American saws. And I really like those homelites, and I do got few of them. But I do had small ones. There's the XL12, I still had it. I'm just using it as for parts, just in case for the other one. There's the XL with a little red recoil that I showed you yesterday. And there's the XL I showed you yesterday. Very good small trimming saws. Because three of them, the Super XL and these two, do got automatic oilers. But sometime if you want to push this to give chain lubricant oil quicker before you start cutting, you can, or you could do it right before you start the saw. Not a biggie. It's not a big deal. But if you guys do have one of these, let me know in the comments and tell me what your thoughts on these fans. And I'd like to hear some questions from you about these fans. But if y'all own one of these, like I do, let me know in the comments. But the paint on it is still original, but it's getting ready to be peeling off. But I'm not sure how long that paint's gonna last. But I'm not sure what paint they used for this back in the day before they ran out of business. But that is some looking good original paint. Really good original paint. I might find me one of these days the original homelite 20-inch bar for this thing. But I still like the Oregon bars, but they still making bars for these saws. I wonder if they make a 16-inch bar for these things too. If you guys figure it out, if they make 16-inch bars, Oregon 16-inch bars for these things, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments below. But I still use original 16-inch bars. But I don't occasionally use them, but I do have a bar right there, but I still use. I still like using it. I got 3 of them. If this one gets bent real bad, I'll switch it over to an original 16-inch bar. Well, there he is, 1997 Homelite Big Red Super XL. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments and tell me what you think. Subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty. Thank you all for watching.